So I'm just going to show you the basic process on one of the more straightforward branches to start with. I want to do some of these smaller air layers as well, just to see how they go too. There's a bit more potential from the smaller ones obviously than the bigger older material, so practice makes perfect. So I want to do this one as an air layer through about this point here. I've got one of those pods to use for this one, I'll show you afterwards. But this is one just to see if it comes out as a small cascade as well for a future rock planting project, Shitsky. A couple of ideas just to get a couple of trees cascading out of a stone. So that's the idea behind this one, and we'll see how we go with that and show you the simple process. So we're going to start this one as the first air layer on the simpler, smaller one here, where I can get a bit of access as well. And just to show you a little bit of the process. So we've got the thickness of the branch here. We basically want that, the ring bark to be at least the same thickness or a little bit more. So I want the thicker part there where there's that little bit of bulge in the trunk to be where I can try and get the roots from, because I don't want to come in here because it has that little bit thinner, a little bit of inverse taper. So I can do the first cut here and the bottom cut right down the bottom here. So I'm actually going to start with the bottom cut through that dead tissue there where there's been some old branches come off there. And just push through the bark layer to the cambium. We don't want to push through too hard, just through the bark layer. So get this one right. This is where I want the roots from. So this one you want to be the most accurate strike. Line everything up as you go around. And we'll come around to the other side then and continue that. Underneath, split back to where you can see a bit more, split down through there, and then we want to peel that bark away as best we can in between. So that needs to be really clean. We need to take away all the tissue in there, all the bark tissue needs to come off, and scrape that away so it's all nice and properly clean. So we've stripped it all out back into the knot area here, just to give us plenty of space away from here. The top cut nice and clean, nice and straight, right where I want it on the thickest part there. We use a bit of rooting hormone there, just using a bit of Clonex. I like the gel over the powder. Just for me it sticks at the point a little bit better. I can get it into exactly where I want, push it under the edge of the bark there a little bit. And we'll just whack a bit on the other side. Don't film from there. Keep that up. For this one I'm going to use one of these pods that have been around for a little bit. It's just a little basic one. Using some shop sphagnum with a little bit of vermiculite in it as well as the shiny stuff. Vermiculite is also good for root raising and stuff like that. I would have put a bit of pumice, but I didn't have any in the final pumice. So I'm happy with the vermiculite, just to add a little bit of extra substance to it. And these I've cut out the ends just to fit around. So it should hopefully just simply go around there. If I get the angle of the dangle right, push it in, and we'll be able to hopefully clip that together to give us a good little fit there. Come on, we can do it. And we'll set the first air layer. So that's sealed in pretty good around the ends there. Does allow for a bit of the drainage of the moisture and a little bit of access to the moisture. The roots of course will be growing a little bit uphill, but not the way it's going to be, and then they'll change to go inside the rock when she's finished. So the rest of it, fingers crossed.